40,000 people, one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, and according to legend, they vanished in a single day. Tonight, we enter Mohenjo-Daro, a 4,500-year-old city in what is now Pakistan, once a jewel of the Indus Valley civilization. But beneath these sun-baked bricks lies a question that has haunted archaeologists for a century. What killed this city? And why do some of its dead look like they fell where they stood? This is the story of a civilization that didn't just die. It disappeared. Long before Rome, long before the pyramids were old, Mohenjo-Daro rose from the plains of the Indus River. A city of straight streets and right angles, with carefully planned neighborhoods and even covered sewage drains running beneath the roads. Almost every house had its own bathroom, its own well, its own private drain feeding into the city's main sewers. At the heart of the city, a massive brick tank, the Great Bath, dominated the citadel, hinting at rituals of purity and an obsession with cleanliness. No grand palaces, no towering statues of kings, just order, uniform bricks, and silence about who ruled it all. In the 1920s, when archaeologists first peeled back the earth here, they expected just another mound. What they found was a buried metropolis, and something far stranger. Scattered among the ruins were human skeletons, some lying in the middle of streets, some in houses, some grouped together as if they had never made it to safety. One famous account speaks of 41 skeletons, bodies found in positions that looked disturbingly casual. No battles, no walls smeared with blood, few weapons, just people, dropped where they stood. What could do that to an entire city? As the story spread, so did the theories. Some writers claimed the skeletons carried unnaturally high levels of radiation, on par with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Others spoke of bricks melted into glass, of an ancient nuclear blast that erased Mohenjo-Daro in an instant. It was the perfect mystery. A forgotten city, bodies in the streets, and no clear cause. But there was one problem. Archaeologists who actually worked at the site never reported radioactive skeletons. Not once. Not in a line. Not even in a footnote. The radiation story can be traced back to a misreading of a scientific paper about an Egyptian mummy. Twisted, then relocated until it ended up at Mohenjo-Daro in popular books. The vitrified, glass-like bricks? Also, not in the excavation reports. So what did the bones really tell us? First, they weren't all from the same instant in time. They come from different layers, different phases of the city's life. And many were found near walls and doors, places where bodies might have been left or moved over time. There are no charred layers of citywide burning, no blast pattern, no mass grave of tens of thousands, just a few dozen tragic deaths left exposed in a city that was already fading. The real story of Mohenjo-Daro's vanishing in a single day is that it didn't. Evidence points not to a single apocalyptic explosion, but to something far more patient and far more terrifying. For centuries, the Indus River has shifted, twisted, and flooded these plains, drowning fields and swallowing villages when it changed course. At Mohenjo-Daro, archaeologists found houses and streets buried under multiple layers of silt, then rebuilt on top again and again. A city repeatedly wounded by floods. Each disaster may have driven a few more families away, emptied a few more workshops, silenced a few more wells. At the same time, climate records suggest a long, grinding change. Weakening monsoons, creeping drought, rivers abandoning their old channels. The great trade networks of the Indus civilization faltered, and cities like Mohenjo-Daro began to suffocate. No mushroom cloud, no single night of horror, just a slow-motion catastrophe so drawn out that no one living inside it could see the end, until one day there was no one left to rebuild. Those skeletons, lying as if caught mid-stride, mid-conversation, mid-life, are not the remains of a city vaporized in a heartbeat. They are the last echoes of people who stayed too long in a place the earth itself was abandoning. Mohenjo-Daro did not vanish in a single day. It died the way most civilizations do, not with one scream, but with a long, dry whisper. And maybe that is the real horror. That the greatest dangers to our world are not sudden explosions, but the silent changes we refuse to see coming.
Thanks for watching. Tube Dude. Like and subscribe for more videos.